Welcome back to Study Break. My name is Jared Vosswinkle, your regular guy, along with Lily Percifield, Campbell Duffy, and Olivia Rose McCain.
You are a regular guy.
Cool.
You're regular guy.
And irregular guys.
Yeah. Three really.
Yeah, what are you saying about us?
What do you mean?
That we're not regular?
Regular guy, and along with me are wild psycho.
I don't think you can say that anymore.
Psycho?
Yep, I think you're so canceled.
Wild, nasty people.
So I hated that.
Nasty.
Wild,
Nasty people.
people.
I like that. I'm
Wow.
feeling
I feel
We got a lot to talk about.
I'm feeling like an emotion that's sitting deep in the bottom of my stomach.
I like that we hash some of it out in the episode,
Yes.
so we have a little less to hash out.
It's
here.
true.
Yeah, everything really clicked into place.
So we're all connected.
Yeah.
Obsessed with the
Obsessed.
connections. I wonder if my
delicious.
beams go to only people who are alive, or if my beams can go to
The dead.
my past, my ancestors. Because Grandma Surestone is no longer with us. Wait, unless Jared wants her to be.
I would say, she was 8. I'm going to say she's alive.
Sweet.
Because halflings live a long time, right?
It was only
Yeah.
60 years ago.
Halflings do live a long time. Honestly, my halfling family timeline is a little bit like these halflings would have been like having kids very young,
Yeah.
like
That's what I
compared
was
to
thinking.
what we think of halflings as. And that's honestly on me, like just on Jared saying the schools have been around for 40 years or however many years.
I think it's like pretty soon after that. Like over, if that was 60 years ago, then like they made those schools pretty quick. So like 50 something.
But I've talked about how my grandmother went there. So like,
Yeah. Like she would have been, so if she was 8 and she started high school whenever she was 14, so like that's 6 years later.
yeah.
Then yeah, like 54 years after the war. I mean, like 54 years ago from like the present day.
Yeah. But I don't know what I've described is more of like a, I don't know, it would make more sense for humans. If we're going like traditional halfling, like Hobbit timeline, I mean, you wouldn't be
okay.
having kids till like 40. So
That's okay.
too bad. There's just different halfling cultures and you know,
Hey,
subdivisions.
It's our
you know,
fantasy
prevail.
world. We can
Yeah.
do whatever we
Yeah.
want.
I just want
Put
the
a dog
Hobbit purists
person
out there to know that like I know my shit. You know,
I'm sure they'll forgive you.
this is your time. This is your sign that whatever you want to happen, talk about it with your DM and make it happen. You can do anything. It's Dungeons and Dragons.
So true.
Kind of rhymed. That was kind of bars. Okay. Anyway.
I'd like to shout out the fact that Campbell called who the orb was very early on.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Haha.
Y'all were talking about like soul plane the entire time last study break.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, should I just like make it the soul plane? And I was like, it doesn't work for what I want to do with it.
Hey, don't let us bully you.
No.
Yeah,
Y'all can
we got
definitely
pocket
bully me.
planes left and right.
Y'all are allowed to bully me.
Well, we know.
I think it would be cool one day if we can go to the astral plane with Sabina. But unfortunately, she would be really powerful there. And also, unfortunately, she would like kill us because the
Yeah,
new
so-
version of
yeah.
her is gonna.
Sabina's like our best friend and also our number one op.
Yeah.
Love that dynamic.
So I
Yeah,
think
she's
our
like bringing a
I
new,
love her so
like,
much.
something new to the word frenemy.
Yeah.
Killing her was like really,
we
really,
did it.
sad.
Now when she comes back and she's like, "You guys killed me. Fuck you." We can be like, "No, we didn't," and it'll be true.
True.
She
I
doesn't
remember
even have that much. Honestly, Levi did us a huge service.
we were at the end of, we were like at a little bar after Olivia's, one of Olivia's shows. And I was talking with Campbell about these episodes. And I was trying not to spoil anything. And I was like, yeah, I really want y'all to like see Sabina. Cause I think this was like right after we recorded that episode where y'all like saw Sabina.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really want like this arc to like really show that like y'all really do like Sabina and there's good reasons to. However, she is on the wrong side. And so
Yeah.
whether she likes it or not.
Whenever we
Yeah.
were making that decision, I like forgot all the stuff that Astaroth did. I like forgot that she gooped like all our friends and like made them almost kill us and made them almost kill other people.
When you're like, maybe we should give it to her, I was like, oh, so Lily's gone insane.
I just like forgot about all that stuff. But then I remembered it and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I just think we're gonna meet. I don't know. We're gonna meet an even angrier version of Sabina.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
But I think it would have
here's
happened
the
either
thing.
way.
It'll be like eventually we're gonna have to have an actual fight with her. where like we get to see all her shit and like, you know what I mean? Like eventually we're going to have an all out fight with her. I feel like it would be unsatisfying if that doesn't happen at some point where we get to see her at like her full skill level and us fighting her, like working together.
Yeah.
Like that's something so great to build to, and it's going to happen.
It's also like, think about like, say that she agreed to walk out of there without the bracelet and face the wrath of Astaroth. Astaroth probably just would have killed her ass as punishment, and then she would have come back at this version anyway.
It just breaks my heart.
I think it's really beautiful, or maybe not beautiful, but like poetic to think of like the imagery of that being the last sacrifice.
Yeah.
In like whatever that place, what was that place called?
Just Luna Stairs, like temple.
What?
Like the cavern, the sacrifice cavern.
I don't think it had a name.
Well, now it's called the sacrifice cavern.
Well,
and I don't know. It's just like, hopefully that will be like the last person killed there. And I mean, I know it's like a revenant, but still, I thought the imagery of it was so cool to be like surrounded by like the ghost flowers overtaking all the skeletons, and like to see all the imagery of the ghosts, like the reenactment or like the memory or the echo of like what they did there.
yeah.
And then like hopefully to have like one last sacrifice for good. And then her soul isn't like all those other souls we assume are going to the moon, right? Like the Reshgar sister did, but hers didn't. Hers went down to Astaroth. The imagery is so delicious.
Yeah, damn.
Who's going to animate that?
Who's going to animate
Real,
that?
actually.
And like, I don't know, maybe it would have been like cooler, I guess. Like, oh, it's like Beans is like a player character. So it's like, oh, it would have been cool to like have him do it. But I love the fact that Levi did it. I don't know, because like that was the last thing that happened there is Levi killed someone, and like he was doing it again, but like
For
actually
good.
for good, like
Yeah.
for good and not for cold blood. And like kind of, I don't know what was going on in his head, but like maybe to keep Beans from having to do it.
I think Jared.
did- he-
I think Jared was sick of us waffling.
It's true.
Yeah, but like sometimes when the DM is sick of
It was-
waffling, a character does something cool that internally is cool.
It was a mix of the waffling and also like of Levi, of like the harshness of Levi coming out, and also Levi doesn't like Sabina.
I'm obsessed with Levi.
I'm gonna punch him
as
in the dick
a
again.
character. No, I agree. But like,
He's got at least 5 more in the chamber.
He's an interesting guy.
I love when a character is so.
No, I get it. He's set.
Complex.
He's set in like what he thinks is the right way to do this, and
He's so
not
logical.
And he's not gonna like.
I love that he explained his emotions so logically to
Yeah.
us. It was good.
But he's not gonna
characterization.
like. He's not gonna give into the emotion of like, oh, but I like this person. I shouldn't do this to them. He's very much like, but I have to do it to get to the next step. Therefore, it has to happen.
Well, and also, I
The
mean,
show
like
would be way shorter if we were like that.
very logical, and also like, I mean, we didn't dive too much into it, but he had a strong inkling that like you were a twin soul.
Yeah, he's
So
Yeah.
like he is very smart and very like, I mean, you saw like whenever y'all
I mean, he
landed, he's like
researched
he's like a private investigator.
He
like
scouted us.
Yeah.
he's like part of the fucking.
He was
Eldrivale
wearing a
PIs.
baker's boy hat. We
Yeah.
should have seen this coming.
Got our ass.
No, he got our ass.
We got from all angles.
gosh.
But we kind of, I mean, things could have gone way worse.
I agree. Should we talk through these memories?
I was just about to say, let's talk
yeah.
to these memories.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't know. I was when Jared was like, "It's your dad." I was like, as if like that's the craziest person who could have been there. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
I think it's just because we haven't like really gotten it to like. I feel like we've talked about him and like.
We've never seen him.
And we've talked about people who are like, oh, like Kurt is connected, but we haven't like seen like him do something. So it was like,
It was cool. And he was taking bitches down
hey,
until he wasn't. Oh, no, and then he was, and then he wasn't anymore.
Wait, what? What are you talking about?
wrong
wrong
memory.
dad.
We're on my dad.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were on Beans' dad.
No.
No,
We're on memory number 1.
My bad.
No, was not shocked to see my dad actually.
Oh, right.
But yeah, so Melina was fully using all of like Theodrix's
Yeah,
abilities.
she was going in and out, in and out.
She was turning into like Theodrix's human form or his elven form, right? Was that what happened?
No.
No, it was like Melina.
Melina? Okay,
then
I
the
thought
dragon.
I thought at one point it was like Theodrix's. what-
I was just
it
saying
was-
like he's talking to Theodric because it was like she was like eyes
Oh,
glowing. and
duh.
shit.
It was
yeah,
like his
never mind. Okay,
voice.
but yeah, so Melina was changing back and forth from dragon to elf and using his powers.
Yeah, and
was-
Timonus was like, come show up at the battle and help us fight. And she was like, no.
Yeah,
She was like running away from the fight.
yeah, and she was
Yeah.
really strong.
And then him throwing the silver briars, it was like, bro, egg on your face. Like, what are you doing?
I was like, literally, what was the plan?
Yeah.
Well, and I really wanted it to be really ironic that this Timonus it's adjacent to what Esta has dreamed of seeing, like Theodrix betraying Syssix.
Yes.
Of like that he betrays his sister, that Timonus betrays his sister.
Yes.
And then Theodrix getting upset. And also the fact that Theodrix gets upset that Timonus betrays her shows like, oh, Theodrix has like an opinion and he's thought about his own betrayal of Syssix in this like long line.
Yeah.
Because
but
originally
he can stop it this time.
I know each of the families have their own story, but Theodrix did betray her.
Yeah, what the last we saw from that memory, and I believe the end of the memory, and like, because I don't think we're gonna go back to that. It was like Theodrix was supposed to kill Syssix, and then Timonus, old Timonus, like ancestor Timonus,
Yeah.
like
Timonus the first.
Timonus the first, like betrayed Theodrix and was like capturing Theodrix, and also Timonus's. This is getting confusing. Timonus's sister was like betraying her, and then Timonus the first like betrayed his sister down the line by like being mean to her and like separating the family and all that shit.
Yeah.
Do you remember like back when every time we would talk about this, like we would be like, or I would be like, it has to be incest. And you'd be like, no,
it's actually really, really simple.
Yeah, you were just like, I don't get how this could work without
I was like, I don't
incest.
see how they could possibly be connected.
There was a point whenever you kept saying that, and I was like, is there no way that it doesn't work? I was like, have I backed myself into a corner?
It's you.
No, have I made an incest plot line?
That's actually what happened to George R. R. Martin.
George R. R. Martin went,
He
fuck!
accidentally wrote himself into a corner.
I guess they gotta be incestual.
I guess
Sure.
it's gonna have to happen.
You couldn't backspace any of those words.
in
at that point.
every piece of media I've
And I was
ever
gonna say, in
written.
everything that he's ever done, they're always
It's always like,
classic
again,
there's only one way to do this. God damn it.
again.
Oh, really? Again?
I gotta stop doing this every time.
Okay.
Said him never.
Yeah.
No, said him now because he's not writing Winds of Winter. He said, I gotta stop doing this.
He said, "Oh, this book's about incest. That's gross."
Yeah.
Wait, no, that he just read an excerpt from the latest one and it's releasing, right? It was at a con.
I don't
You're shaking his head like a man who's been burnt.
No, wait, no, I'm lying to you. I'm thinking of Brandon Sanderson.
You
Sorry.
are speaking of Brandon
Okay.
Sanderson.
Pardon me.
I know. I haven't read the Game of Thrones books. I mean, I'm interested in the last one just to see the difference between the TV show and the books. But
Exactly.
no, the whole bit has been like for 14 years.
No,
it's been like
unfortunately, he's gonna pass into the great beyond.
Sanderson is pumping him out. I mean, he's never even had a super long break.
He's also not very like in the grand context of life. He's not very old. Like
no, he's young.
And he's going. I mean, I don't know how many of those books there are, but there are a lot.
I saw him it was a video of like he was at his local like Barnes and Noble.
I saw that.
And like the girl was like, I was literally thinking like, who's this dude who's just standing in front of the book I want? And then she realized it's Brandon Sanderson and he like gives her a copy and shit. But it was really funny that she was like, yeah, I was about to ask you to move.
That can happen to you if you go to Utah.
Won't.
If you go to Utah, you can go to their little soda shops.
Now, hey,
No, I'm going to say it. Go to Utah and meet all your favorite fantasy romance authors.
I would love to go to the little. Well, they have those soda shops here in Texas.
Really?
There's like there's like
there's one in
Swigs in San
Georgetown.
Antonio. Oh,
Sodies?
there's one in Georgetown now.
Yeah.
We gotta make a trip.
We got to make a trip. We got to go get some tea, and then we got to go do a soda shop.
Sody shop.
Anyway, that was the
Lily's
first.
not going to the soda shop.
I'm going.
I'm going.
I'm going to go.
No,
That was my first.
You're not invited.
I almost said that was my first memory. No, that was the first memory. Any last thoughts on the first memory?
The question from this memory was she saw the beast and she like
Saw the members of the order.
saw the other members of the order, so that was the memory number 2. We'll get there. But she said she doesn't want it. She doesn't want
She doesn't want whatever power they were trying to.
So
make her
were they
take.
trying to like also like trap Hyperia within Melina.
That's a crazy idea that I introduced. I would just like to remind. That's not like
I
a...
thought-
No, I was thinking that before you said it. And it's like,
That would be
were they
fucked
gonna
up.
try and triple soul, or did they just find and then if they were trying to do that, that means they just found someone else to do it to, which made me think of Moray being able to pass through the mist.
Or they're
I know.
still
And
trying
she
to
had the
find
wings.
someone.
Or
you know what I mean?
or they're still
Like-
trying to find someone.
Like, because Governor Frey's obviously been experimenting on some shit. So
Something-
like,
they've definitely done something to Moray, or Moray has like tried to do something to herself. You know what I mean? Because Moray didn't have spectral wings; she had feathered wings.
yes.
Oh, but she's an ASMR, so she already had
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, so that tells us nothing.
so we know she was obsessed with twin souls. We assumed it was because of Terra, but right, Terra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Twin Souls, yeah, because of Terra.
Yeah, so maybe she was also studying it for herself, and that's why she wanted.
She was like, I want to have 2 souls.
or they could
she
have told
wanted
her.
to-
They could have been like, "We're gonna do this to you."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna look
Let me
into it."
research it.
Yeah.
Or she could just be like, she just got pulled into their whole shebang.
Yeah,
you know?
it
like
could also be not true. And
Whenever we
just came
first
up with
heard it,
that.
I thought Melina just meant she didn't want the power of Theatrix.
but she already had it and was like using it freely.
Yeah.
So she's talking about something else.
Also, she got shot out of the air. Was that a projectile from the battle she was running away from, or was that Timonus shooting her?
It was a beam.
I was gonna say that was assumed that like she was fighting
okay.
fighting like those forces.
okay,
So, Hyperion forces.
okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like the biggest question was like, yeah, what power did she not want?
And then why in every time I've seen her in my pocket plane with Theodrix has she been like, don't do it, like don't talk to him.
I mean, something must have gone wrong.
They told me to live as a hermit and like never unlock any of this power. Like
Probably
she
so,
was
like, you
fucking
couldn't-
lying.
I feel like probably so you couldn't get used like she did. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I think it was more of a protection, like, oh, don't even go there because
Yeah.
like the minute you unlock everything is like they're like perfect.
yeah,
it's
she was like, I don't want them to use you as a weapon. Or
Yeah.
she thought you would choose to join the wrong side and
Yeah.
fight
Yeah.
for evil with all that power. Because
Sure.
it could corrupt you easily.
yeah.
I also think the beast that she was talking about is whatever Kaiba can turn into. I don't think it's my dad because like I don't know, he's just a tabaxi. He's not like
Yeah.
crazy, you know what I mean?
What's
It's
like a tabaxi's a cat person? Like, what is a dog person called? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Well, in Delicious in Dungeon,
the
they're
kobolds used to be dogs, but
Well, that's like a Japanese culture thing.
I know,
like,
yeah.
Our kobolds are dogs, and our kobolds are more. I mean, like Western kobolds are more like dragon.
Yeah.
reptilian.
Dragon lizard.
Yes, this
but
yeah,
that's the only thing that like
But there's like a D&D like 5e race that's like dog, like in the same way that tabaxis are cats, right?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I was thinking of what it would be. It would be like a kobold. I think I might just call him something else, unless there's a race of D&D 5e.
Well, I don't think have we had any kobolds in this?
We haven't.
We could
but
just choose to do the more
so
Japanese version of
Or
kobolds.
there could be two types of, there could be multiple types of kobolds.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this throughout the episodes. I was like, there could just be 2 types of kobolds, but then I was like,
But you didn't describe them like a
I think there
kobold.
can, like, think how many
Exactly.
different cultures
Well,
of,
I didn't describe them
humans
like
there
anything.
are. Like, it
That's
only makes
true.
sense that
Well,
other...
he gave him dreads and
That is
No,
a totally different
other guy.
that wa-
Kaiba.
guy with dreads was like an elf.
That was the unnamed man.
The one that we never, the one that was fighting with your father that we never revealed. Jared said was like canine somehow. So that would be
so I misinterpreted.
kobold
Yes.
dog person, and then
Two
other
different
guy and then your dad killed.
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Your dad killed
No,
that.
now
guy.
I'm on the same page.
Other guy in the Golden Order.
When I
Has
clarified
locks.
something with you, I think you misheard me. Like I was saying, like, oh, it's this guy, and when you said yes, I think we were on a miscommunication spree.
Gotcha. For show.
Yeah, or there's like lycanthropes, like could have been like a werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you saying you originally were thinking like, oh, this is a kobold type of...
Yeah, in my mind, it was like, that's a kobold, but I
Okay,
don't
sweet.
want to call him that.
Okay. Well,
I'm sure there's a type of dog folk
Exactly.
across.
That was going to be some shit I was going to figure out in between episodes.
honestly, I was imagining something super cool. So you have the benefit of my doubt.
He must have been important somehow though, because your dad said like, I've delivered the goddess and Kaiba. Like
Yeah.
That's the part of the agreement.
Yeah, so that makes me
Killing
think
them.
that like Kaiba was more of the beast because I don't know. It just seems weird. It's like the Tabaxis are.
But your dad said that I've delivered the goddess and Kaiba.
Or delivered like
The goddess and Kaiba.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was trying to betray his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so.
That's what he.
messed up.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I'm
But he
assuming
looks at
that
him with like recognition, you know, like he clearly
I bet
betrayed him, right?
Kaiba was probably like part of another family in hell that was also he was probably some other kind of general of this like kobold family.
Oh my god.
The similar way that your dad is like the general and also like the head of this
Maybe
bad
the
family.
Yeah.
maybe those guys used to be the guardians of hell, and then my dad wiped them out, so then
Yeah.
he could have a
Oh, that's pretty good.
pack of kids and make them
Yeah.
the guardians.
And then Frey, and then Unnamed Man, and Booger, and your dad were all there on the same team,
yeah.
unless one of them
Kinda.
across.
The-
Well, clearly Frey.
Frey and my dad are like on a true alliance, while the rest of them were like, it seemed like we're working with you because we need you right now, but this is not like a.
So your dad is like letting Frey literally like possess his children and use them as soldiers, and he's like, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that
I
was
think that's
ever.
kind of why he had the children.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the purpose of us is to like
fucked up.
to be used as a pawn in this game.
Yeah.
And then he forgot that like we would have like, you know, like our own free will.
Thoughts and feelings.
Yeah.
Oh.
You always forget that. But they're not going to be heartless monsters like you are.
Literally.
Tough when that happens. No matter how much he tried to keep it out of us.
Yeah.
Program you all.
Yeah.
Little
Okay.
robots.
We
Next
gotta we gotta
memory.
figure out who that guy is. That's our
Gotta
main.
fi-
That's our main like
Important guy.
action.
Oh, and I think the other question is like whatever my dad kept being like when the time comes.
You'll support my claim.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
like he has this claim to the throne, yeah, but it's like how do we know when the time comes? Is that happening soon? Like we now know.
Yeah, because he doesn't have it right now.
Yeah. But
So
we
it's
now
like,
know he has a big
What if they're
plan.
trying to put the Briars on? They're trying to put the Briars on Astaroth, right?
Oh, probably.
So it's like,
That's probably why they nabbed
Probably the time.
Lunastera.
yeah. Oh yeah, as bait.
And that's why they're probably looking for Big P. Like it's kind of more of like a family, like we're taking your family kind
Yeah.
of thing.
What's so great about being the king of hell that they have to do all this just to? Oh my god,
It's
it
kind of
couldn't
like
be that great.
kind of like a whole plane that you'd get to control.
Not my thing,
Some people hunger for power.
right? And this guy was super powerful. This guy who we don't know, the elf,
Yeah.
And they got Hyperia.
because
They got
He's
her
the
ass.
one-
Your
he's-
dad and Frey both answered to him.
And as far as y'all know, in terms of hierarchy of the Golden Order, he is the top.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love.
Let's kill
I love that. He looked cool.
All these men betraying like beautiful goddesses.
I
Yeah.
know.
Freaking me out.
I was like, I hate you, men.
Every time it was like, and this man
And this-
throws the silver briars. I was like,
Over
I was
this
like, don't
other
you're
goddess.
hurting
I
her.
was like, what
And
a
then
man
your dad's
thing to
betraying
do.
this other goddess.
Yeah.
And oh my god.
Of course, it's the men.
Y'all.
Okay, should we go to?
The next one.
Next one was the carriage ride.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was the two Githyanki.
Yeah.
I
And-
love that you clarified. You're like, don't read into that.
Don't
It
read
doesn't
into
mean
it.
anything.
It's helpful.
They're just Githyanki.
The minute
Do you know what I
said
thought
that,
it was? I thought it was that the Githyanki had like, they had like certain forums that they
yeah.
could study.
Yeah, like character selection.
Yeah,
That's what I thought,
exactly.
too.
Where they would be like,
That'd be
okay, like
insane.
when you get ready to travel to the plane,
Crazy.
like
That's
here's
cool,
your,
but
here's
insane.
your blueprint. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
they only have like one picture of
They've
a
got-
person.
yeah, they've
So
got,
that
like,
they can
four
really
pictures.
so that they can really concentrate on.
But
like,
then it's like, wait, haven't I seen you before? Did I see you like 30 years ago?
Like, no.
And you were a little bit taller?
yeah.
It was just like choose
What are-
choose
what
your
else is it, like-
fantasy race.
Isn't Sabina like a human?
Yeah.
Your options are like blonde, white woman, black halfling, like two more.
Only two.
They like try to keep it kind of diverse. Okay, anyway, so that's not what that was. Those were Githyanki, and they were like, she's headed west. She has the package. She's headed west. Well, they didn't say that. They said Surestone family, and so the family must have been agents, but they brought their 8-year-old daughter on the mission with them.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
But I'm
Well,
sure they wouldn't have done it if they didn't have to.
That's the kind of the underlying thing that I was like, I don't know how to put this in there really, is that you assume there was another carriage, and then also there was like the Cinderfoots. This was one of those like there's multiple
yeah.
targets.
Like they don't know who has the
and
package.
you would
Yeah.
think that like the one with like a small child would be like
Oh,
the
yeah.
least likely to have the package, but it's like
That's really
they might have been double crossed or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
they attacked them.
Well, hopefully somebody out there put that together. I'll be honest, I didn't put that together, but that's so good. Okay, so then, oh my God.
It's
Oh
like
my
a
God. So then she was standing in the middle of them with it. I'm gonna
So,
throw
Love
up.
that with her club at 8 years old.
With her
She's
club.
like,
You said she had a club, and I said, that's right. I know that's right.
she said, I'll beat your ass if you come in this circle.
Oh my God. She invented Arcano Ball, actually. People don't know that.
Oh my God.
a question here is why
I couldn't put that in because y'all would have heard about it before now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you would have heard from Sawyer, my family invented Arcano Ball.
Yeah, that would have been like the first thing. My mommy invented Arcano Ball.
Exactly, but it wouldn't make sense, so I couldn't say it now.
why did the silver why was the silver did Lunastera intentionally entrust the silver crown with Big P?
No,
Ooh,
Hyperia. This whole thing started because Hyperia had stolen Big P.
Yeah. So then they were
Oh
like,
my
we got
God.
to get him back.
Yeah. So there was some thing in between that y'all still don't know of like they got him back at some point.
Yeah, but we know she got jealous.
Well, what the hell got into Hyperia just stealing kids out here? Should have kept it between the adults.
Well, what does the thing
She
say?
didn't
It
have-
says
there
she
was-
got jealous and created life. It doesn't say she stole Big P. It says she got jealous and she created life. Do we like know anything else besides that?
Y'all, I mean, there's like weird interpretations of like that thing that was like passed down to Terra.
Yeah, it's like we've already heard two versions of that and they didn't match exactly. So it's like
Yeah.
who knows what translation fuckery
Yeah.
is happening. You know what I mean? Whenever you read that celestial word, it had like 20 options that the word could be.
Maybe it's like she stole the godly version of him, gave him life, and then like
Oh, put
Sent
him.
him to
Yeah,
Earth.
put him like in.
She was like,
To
boom,
make
you're
him-
mortal.
boom, you're mortal.
That's
it's like
actually
Hercules
awesome.
style.
That's
yeah.
like,
Wow.
That's like
movie
cool.
Hercules.
Yeah, like said, you're going to the material plane as a baby now.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah, she said you're not immortal anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, I hope that's what it is. Okay, me side-eyeing Jared.
Me
Just like if
side-eyeing.
you haven't thought of something cool, you know, you can use that.
Hey, you could jot that down if
Good
it's
job. I mean,
helpful.
feel free to use
It's
that one.
I mean it's in recording if I need to come back and listen.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So then my Cinderfoot ancestors picked her up, which I think that's really cool that she's adopted.
And, they
And also
took
that
the village.
connects your family with like they've been connected with Githyanki since like
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
And it connected you a little bit more solidly to the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. We're kind of like more in a web now.
Yeah.
I mean, I was feeling left out on the prophecies thing. I mean, Sawyer wasn't.
But it felt like me and Esther were a little more like directly entwined. Like it felt like things had crossed paths enough.
Yeah, I mean, Felicity and Joe are in it. But this also explains more like why they would be so in it. I mean, or maybe I assume they know, but it would be cool if they didn't know. And this is just sort of a like it keeps repeating itself.
Yeah, everyone in the family is just like, why do I feel such a strong
Yeah.
sense of justice?
So
Yeah.
it would be really cool if they didn't know about it, but it also would be cool, of course, if they did.
But it'd also be cool if just Sawyer knew about it because then she could dunk on him and be like, oh,
I guys don't know how bad I would. Just about one thing, I want to dunk on Felicity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't even care. Just if it's one thing, I need to dunk on her once. And Joe, I don't even care. I don't even have to dunk on Joe. Like it's fine. We could team up and dunk on Felicity together. There's nothing like teaming up with your siblings against another sibling. I mean, that's just realistic.
I got really nervous during the carriage scene, how you were describing everybody, because you had to keep it like vague. You had to be like, these two figures and these two figures.
I know, I felt bad.
I by the end I was like, oh, I know exactly what happened. But in the middle there, I was like, what if I don't get it? I was like, I can't ask him to repeat everything, but it all clicked into place.
Good.
But I got nervous. I was like, wait, how many people are here? And I was like, I'm just gonna shut up and I think I'll figure it out.
I love that the baby was like Githyanki with horns.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Like a little-
like you're a Githyanki and you have horns. Okay, so you look cool as fuck.
Yeah, you're kind of like a tiefling Githyanki.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's awesome.
Well, and that's kind of, and I think we might have discussed it a little bit that he's a little something else, but this is like confirmed. Big P is like, he's not like Big P is not Githyanki. He is his own little thing.
Yeah.
He's half demon, half Githyanki, which makes him his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like he can't. It's somehow he is shapeshifting. Like somehow he does have this form of
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I mean, he's got like Githyanki like powers and shit.
Yeah.
A little bit of a load off. Those weren't his parents back in Lorelei Village that died.
I feel you. They raised him.
They were.
Along with like 60
clan.
years of other people who
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
also been
that's
his
true.
parents. He's had so many parents at this point.
I guess.
Can you imagine
so.
those villagers are like, my God, who's going to be his parents? Somebody's got to take on parent duty over there.
Yeah.
That's kind of beautiful.
This thing is still like, it's been 20 years. This
when
thing
are
is
you
still
gonna
like,
Get big.
cannot walk.
He's been in his terrible twos for 10 years.
Oh.
I bet he was a terror. Oh my goodness.
He still is a terror.
He's like poof poof poof, like changing form.
Oh my goodness.
Kind of like Jack in Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was
When
a
he
bit of a handful.
Yeah,
when he finds his
exactly.
powers and he's just like he's Rolodexing through them at all times.
And now we know their cool code word. The moon is silver and the crown is sharp.
Yeah.
That was
we could,
so good.
We could use that.
I was gassed.
Suckers.
Yeah, now we can say that and they'll be like, "You're one of us." Even though
of us.
Even though y'all know
kind
a few
of
people
are.
in there.
Yeah,
Felicity
know-
doing like double agent duty is like that's like so insane. Like the parties that you're fucking with right now.
yeah, like what's her end goal? Like where does she
she's
see-
gonna die. She's
Yeah.
gonna get murked.
Yeah, it's like how do you see yourself out of this? Because you've just made
Who knows?
both sides of your enemies. At
I
the
mean,
end of the
clearly
day.
she's okay. Like you wouldn't do all that if you weren't like she knows that she could die. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She's aware of the risk.
she feels like there's something to be gained greater than that's worth losing her life for.
But she said, my number one priority is my family. She was like, and I believe her. She was like, that's number one. She was like, the Golden Order and the Silver Crown are not like what I care about.
So then
most.
why is she doing it?
I don't know. It
How
could
does
be
it benefit the family?
It could be protecting Joe somehow. You know what I mean? Or it could be, she could just be saying like, I'm doing this as long as I can. But once once I have to make the choice, I will choose family.
Or I wonder if it's like a saving the world kind of thing, like the whole world, the realm ends if I don't achieve what I'm trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's like,
What I got from that was like, I would destroy the realm if it meant saving my family.
yeah, but you can't because your family lives on the realm. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing of like,
Yeah.
she is working for the greater good. I think what you said, she's working for the greater good now. And then if at any point there becomes a choice, the family can survive without choosing the greater good, she would choose that option.
I really want to give Kilgo like a proper burial.
But her
like,
body's gone.
I know, but we can still do like something like a remembrance,
But
something.
Lunastera accepted her in, floated her soul up.
Yeah, but like I don't know, for the Rushgars, like I feel like we should have a funeral or something.
Well, let's see if they're alive.
When we take them back to Frogmont, yeah, we can have some kind of.
Yeah, there could be like a nice like memorial ceremony at the school.
Because then
Yeah, exactly.
we'll have like total like clarity on what happened to them.
Yeah, but
I'm
we
sure
also have to ungoop the town. Oh wait, is
No,
the town
we just
automatically ungooped?
we just did that.
I guess Levi ungooped the town, which like probably feels good on his conscience.
I don't think anything feels good after you kill somebody in cold blood.
Right,
It was kind of
probably
what he was
not.
getting at. He was kind of like, I've been
Kind of like
haunted
my
ever
life
since.
is over now. Yeah,
He's kind of like, I'll always regret that decision kind of vibe.
yeah, but it is also like you're like a 16-year-old like child soldier who is like commanded to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't excuse it, but it is like that's dark.
Yeah, but you also had two of your closest friends there being like, no,
Don't do it.
don't do that. And then you still turn around and do it. And then they still are like,
No, I mean it was dead wrong.
and then they were still like, we forgive you.
That was crazy.
My tummy.
Whoa!
Holy
that in.
shit.
Our special guest.
Jared's tummy.
Yeah, Tess and Kate, it's like y'all are pushed over. Like, really?
Yeah, just wait till Beans gets a gun.
They just
Levi.
really,
Tess did
In
look
my
scared.
mind-
Tess looked scared that whole time.
they just think so highly of Levi.
I get it.
Yeah.
Like Levi has a lot of qualities to think highly of.
And it's like,
Genuinely.
and if
He
he did that, then like there must be some reason, or at least like this is their thinking.
Yeah,
He's
no,
genuinely-
I love the character, and I love the character dynamic.
He's like genuinely super smart and incredibly convincing. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll do whatever you
It's
say.
also like we can't just like throw like it. Levi's like a good person to know. We can't just
Yeah.
like throw away the whole guy.
yeah.
Are you good over there?
What are you doing over there?
I'm just messing around and moving stuff.
He's
Thought he was turning my
getting
mic
silly.
down.
Oh.
Yeah, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, we've heard enough from you.
We've heard enough from you. Just you. We'll hear you in the back of the other mics, though.
I don't know.
So it'll
Sometimes at
ruin-
work, I wish I could do that to some
ruin the
people.
fucking audio. And then we leave.
Just I wish I could turn
and then
people
we
down.
I used to wish so bad that I could do that to my siblings.
y'all saw.
Oh, I think that's why I'm really good at ignoring people because of my siblings. If I want you not to exist in my life, very easy. I blip you out of existence.
You block somebody.
I block our mental link.
They go, Olivia, I don't feel so good.
Did you turn into dust?
Yeah, Campbell's a revenant.
Okay, what was the fourth?
The fourth one was
Oh, yeah.
Arathis.
Oh, I want you to. Okay, I wrote down because I thought that y'all wouldn't believe me if I said I knew it was going to be Lord Arathis. I wrote down in my notes Lord Arathis.
Oh my God.
I feel like when you open an envelope, you know what I mean? I wrote in my notes Lord Arathis just so that I could, like, in case y'all were like, we don't believe you, that you
I
knew it was
believe
going to be him.
I guessed that he was coming. Like
was
with
like,
all
it's
this,
gonna
like,
be him.
I mean, when we saw the whole council except for Lord Arathis, I was like, well, he's just somewhere else.
I was like, I knew he was going to get somebody. That was tragic. I can't believe that they worked. Like, is it because the goddesses were in their physical forms at that time that it worked? Or is he, like, engineered something that can, like, trap? Like, to engineer something that can trap a goddess is, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean the Silver Briars are intense, and like I'll say like kind of lore, like the Silver Briars hadn't entrapped Melina, and then just like Theodrix was strong enough to get rid of him. It was like the process was happening, and then Theodrix acted fast enough to then like destroy to like stop what Timonus was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it never even reached her.
These Silver Briars are like
Very powerful.
now they're kind of like a through line of.
But
Not
then
gonna
it's like,
lie.
we're going to just dunk the silver dagger in the fountain and be able to cut them off? Like,
Well,
that's,
it's a pretty powerful fountain.
I know, but like, why didn't the goddesses do that? Because they were already trapped in
They were already trapped.
Yeah, this wasn't like been around forever. This
They
is
didn't
like
really
a
have
brand-
friends to be like, oh, I'll go to the mountain. And
It
also,
They had no network. Oh my
This was
God.
also like the secret thing that they'd been keeping under wraps for this exact night when they could throw them all at the same time.
Yes.
You know,
I
it's
just,
not like
No, I know. I just like, what did he put in there that it can trap them?
well, and something that I haven't talked about is Lunastera, like, Arathis was like a confidant.
Yeah.
She was like,
thanks
"Thank
for
you."
coming. Or,
she was just like, thank you for finding him. And
Did they mean for finding Arathis? Or was
no,
that like
for
finding Big P.
For finding Big P. It's like Lord Arathis found
Oh,
Big P, and then
okay.
it's like somebody got him out from under Lord Arathis. Like,
Or they're the ones who sent him to Lorelei.
or I mean, what does
like Lord Arathis could be like triple, like quadruple agent.
I think it's still just double. I feel like it's kind of like a refraction. You like reduce down, you're still just maybe double.
well, what is Lord Arathis's relationship with Lunastera? What of that relationship is known to the Golden Order? Yeah, I think those are the two big questions.
Yeah, they kissing.
If he's him and Lunastera,
Yeah.
she's gay.
She's a lesbian.
You can be bisexual.
By erasure.
I don't think that the moon goddess could.
Do you think Jared would make a bisexual? He's making lesbians left and right.
Sorry.
This story is full of lesbians.
Let's see if there's any bisexuals that he's made.
There's plenty.
Which one?
I don't know.
I don't know if there's been explicitly
Well, we
said.
don't really meet everyone and be like sexuality.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's not on like the check-in list.
We check him off. No, but
We go to an all-girls school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
really
think-
have like
I think we
a
just,
ton
like-
of options.
we just, like,
about
assume
at the
everybody
Frozen ball, we're
outside
gonna
of
learn.
girls.
At the front
hey,
ball, that's on the questionnaire that Beans is carrying around.
Y'all know someone who's bi?
Who?
Y'all know.
Wait.
He goes to Brimstone.
Oh my God. Wait. Chet.
Oh yeah.
Chet.
Chet.
Chet's into anybody.
We
Oh
do,
my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay.
someone
Wow.
who's bi.
Wow. Okay. Jared made one bisexual.
Is he?
And he's the worst character. And he's the
Hang on,
worst character.
not. So we'll see who Chet brings to the Frozen Toe Ball. I'm hoping it's Wendell. I'm hoping
It
it's
better be Wendell.
But if it's some girl and then he's like talking her ear off all night, that's hilarious. Not to wish harm
As
on
long
her.
as it's not me. Oh
Oh
wait.
yeah, wait. You are his boyfriend or his girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
Wait.
Y'all are dating.
Wait.
You're kind of off and on.
The rumors continue, but does he actually think I'm a girl or does he think I'm a boy so he's just gay?
I think it ended with him knowing that you're a guy.
Well, he flirts with girls too.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, he's only into you and Wendell. Like,
And
his
also, like,
catchphrase is "Hello, ladies."
I think it was like
So
whenever like he realized you were a guy, he was kind of like, okay.
It's true.
Like,
We can also
whatever.
assume
He just thought you were a girl because you went to Frogball.
Yeah. In Eldrivale, there's not a lot of like pressure one way or the other, I'm guessing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
not like our world where it's like, oh, I'm so repressed. It's like,
It's like, hey, whatever floats your boat.
I don't know. Maybe some families are like,
So you're putting
not to be like, there's a little homophobia.
so you're putting homophobia in our fantasy world for fun?
No, I'm saying, I said the opposite. I said, I don't think there would be any.
And then you said, well, maybe some families are.
Well, because there could be pressure from families to continue the line a certain way. You know what I mean? Like,
In our fantasy world, you're saying women on women can't procreate?
I'm saying it can. First of all, Margie has 2 dads.
Yeah, but they're not a real dad.
The 2 goddesses made a baby.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I was gonna leave it up to Jared if it was ever important. In my mind, Margie's dads just had a magical way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
And they are both her
that was-
biological
that's-
fathers.
I'm gonna say
Yeah.
there's no like surrogates really aren't a thing.
No, I just assumed in this world we
yeah,
can
no,
just make it happen.
I- that's what I figured.
That's what I've been thinking. It's just they make it happen.
Magical
Hey.
fantasy world.
Yeah.
No, I 100%. I'm being real. I 100% assume
the stork
it could
is a
just-
real thing.
It could just happen.
We'll make it canon.
Margie came from the stork.
And you know what? And I don't really care how babies are made in this world, and I hate pregnancy plot lines. So I was like,
Yeah.
It's not like we're ever gonna
Word
get
up.
that.
no, but I was like, I'm good enough with just being like, well, it happens.
I think it's cool
Yeah.
to think about like a magical. I think it's cool to have more options. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if your dicks kiss, you can get pregnant.
Exactly. Well, if you want that to happen. If you,
Oh my god.
If that's what you're going
it comes
for.
from true love.
When
Yeah.
2 people love each other very much. No, I was imagining like
They have to be married.
I was imagining like potion. I don't know.
There's a
In this
hard-
world,
Potion
you have to
magic.
be married.
There's a hard
Potion
line on marriage.
Yeah.
I mean,
God.
I think in any world, if you rely on you have to be in true love to have a child, we're facing a population crisis because there won't be enough kids.
No, there's a lot of love in this.
Oh, that's good. Totally.
I'm saying in Eldrivale. Never mind.
what are we talking about right
Anyway.
now?
All right. Arathis reveal.
Arathis
Awesome.
Ravis reveal.
What is his relationship with her? What
I
is his
hope he's a
relationship?
quadruple agent because I think that would be hot.
Double agent. just a double agent for multiple.
But I also
forces.
think if he's evil and slimy and
where's
gross,
the
then that's good,
quadruple
too.
coming in?
Because
the
he's like,
fourth?
I'm on your side. No, I'm on your side. No, actually, I'm on your side. No, I'm on your side.
Whose
What are the sides?
sides?
I can see 3 sides.
I can see
You?
3, but I can't see the
I
fourth.
can see 3 sides. I can see.
What's the fourth?
He's triangulating in my mind. He's like, hey, Hyperia people. Hey, Golden Order. I'm with you. He's like, hey, Hyperia people who are like, we love Hyperia. I'm with you guys. But then he like heaven. But then he's also like, hey, little club, Lord Booker Club. He's like, actually, I'm with you guys, and we're gonna double cross them.
Those are
but
the,
then
that's the Golden Order.
Yeah, but there's the Golden Order who's like, we love Hyperia, and then there's the Golden Order who's like, we've trapped Hyperia. So he's with both those.
I think those are the same Golden Orders.
No. And then he,
They are the head
They're
of the
the
Golden
same.
Order.
and then he's also with the Silver Crown, who's
She
like,
just
we're
needed
protecting
a
Big
fourth.
P.
She needed a fourth.
And then he's also with Principal Pad, who he's secretly in love with.
My God. Anyway, we solved the riddle of the memories, which was just to experience them. Loved that.
Yeah.
Well, we already had a ton of information
Well, and
that
the-
every other bitch didn't have.
The riddle
you-
was like to know who they are.
Can you imagine if those
insane.
fuckers went in that bracelet without us? They would have been shades.
They would have known
Yeah.
shit. And I meant to bring that up, actually.
And then we got out,
Exactly.
and then I did
I was
like all
gonna
the
flex
ghost
on 'em.
dahlias. I loved all the ghost dahlias.
That was really pretty.
I was scared that you were going to be like, you guys have been gone for 2 months.
Maybe we have
10 years.
Maybe it's the night before the
I was
Frozen
gonna,
Toe Ball.
I was gonna say y'all still don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
we
gosh.
have
If
no
it's the night
idea.
before the Frozen Tall Ball, great, because then we can
Oh
ride
my
through,
God.
scoop Margie,
No, can
I
you-
have a date,
No.
get her back to the bunker.
Can you imagine we haven't planned our monster costumes?
Ooh.
The hole's been taken over.
The night. Oh, I'll be punching bitches left
I'm gonna
and right.
dress up as
Get out.
Levi. I'm gonna dress up as Levi and be like, I killed someone.
Like, I
I'm
dress
the monster.
I dress up as the biggest monster I know.
I'm gonna. Oh wait! Oh my God! You know what we have to do?
What?
The Lord of Wrath is disguise.
We're gonna waste it at the
I
frozen
know, we
toe
should-
ball
we should
You're going
Save
to
it.
walk up to the frozen toe ball
and say, "I think you're a monster."
No, we should save it for tactical purposes.
I'm gonna dress up as beautiful Adula.
That's such
Oh
good.
mine.
We're gonna
But
show
then
up
is
and
that
like,
complicated if you dress up as a different dragon?
I kind of wanted to make him jealous. I wanted to be like, why didn't you do a blue dragon?
But she's not a monster.
I imagine you would come in like a very beautiful avant-garde look of the dragon, and then I would come up in
Like spiky ice, like.
and then I'm in like a onesie.
A doula merch onesie.
Yeah, like I'm in like a plush onesie.
Yeah.
It's like printed.
Yeah.
That's
That
really
would be
funny.
funny.
It's very wrinkly.
I'm gonna be Sally. I know she's not a monster, but
That might be offensive to her.
She is still a beast, of the fantasy realm.
yeah, it's not like it's a monster. It's
What are we-
evil. That's problematic of you.
Yeah, why?
I think that she would take that badly.
I feel like everything in a fantasy realm is a monster. It's like, what's the difference between a beast and a monster?
We're all monsters if we want to be.
Exactly.
And with that, let's start our A pluses and flunks.
My A+ is when Cade opened his mouth and I looked at him and I said, "You simple boy."
He was right.
So funny.
He was right.
He said
It
something
was so funny to dunk on him.
Anytime I can dunk on Cade, because it's pretty hard. So I think I got him. My F is that I didn't punch Levi in the dick again.
You have another chance.
Yeah, he's still
there.
Yeah, but the tally's it's like I could have racked up more. No, my real F is that I didn't.
I 50-50 thought Levi was going to be like, I don't have one. And it was going to be like trans. Like trans plotline.
No, everybody over there had a dick in Beans' mind. And I was. And I'm punching it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sabina had a dick.
It's going to hurt.
Yeah, I punch you in the crotch. It doesn't matter what you have. I punch you hard enough. You're not having a fun time.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. I've been hit in the crotch and it has hurt so bad.
Yeah, you hit that pelvic bone.
Hit pelvic bone? Ooh.
Oh, I fell on a fire hydrant like that.
Oh my God.
God.
It's because my sister said, "Go balance
don't
on that," and then
know
she laughed her ass off when I like slipped, spread eagle and went, "Oh God!"
Oh my God.
And my dad was like mortified, and my sister sitting in the car like laughing her ass off. Oh no, my real flunk is that I kept thinking, I was like, I should just like kill Sabina. Like while you guys were arguing, I really wanted to kill her. So I was like, I wanted to like throw her over the ledge or some shit, but I also like, you guys would have been really mad at me. So
I don't know. It would have been so awesome if like, because that's what Levi did. Like whenever they weren't looking, he
Yeah.
killed the Rushgar sisters. So then if you did the same thing, I would be pissed, but it would be badass.
But I also like didn't know if you were like, if she was going to fight it, so you'd be like rolling ish. Like I was like, I don't want to start a whole thing because I didn't know what your plan. We weren't far enough in where she was like, you could just kill me. So I was like, fuck, I don't want to be like, okay, now we have to like fight it out. So that's my flunk, is that I didn't just like say I was doing it to see if you would
get her.
yes and it. Those are mine.
My A plus is how well everything was like described, like how vivid the imagery was. And this is a really specific example, but I love, this wasn't even in one of the dreams, which all were like so, or the memories, which were so great. But whenever you described us going up the stairs, and then there was snow on the top stairs that were exposed because of the opening. And then we went through the snow all the way up. That was just such a good detail. Do you know what I mean? Like you could have just been like, oh, you go up on the roof and it would have been like, okay, I'm there on the roof. But like for some reason, describing the snow coming in my head, I was like, that's exactly what that
Good
would look
image.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun image.
It was so good. And I was like,
Thank
oh my
you.
God, like that was just really good. That stood out to me so much for some reason. But everything else was like, I felt like I could really see it in my mind's eye, which was really fun.
And after some editing, it'll be even more clear.
Oh,
Like the moment where Melina was like looking up, like drenched in rain, like looking at time.
yeah.
So good.
Yeah, I really wanted. We haven't really played with a lot of like rain scenes, and I was like, I feel like this one just being
Or rain scenes.
sad and like just
Dramatic.
hopeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my flunk, I guess my flunk is how long we like took to like decide what we were gonna do. Like we're always like, should we kill him? I don't know. And then I think maybe that can ruin the suspense sometimes.
I mean, that's cut out a lot.
I think we were on a really good path of like, we were finally like really making like, we're making a bunch of decisions. And then in
Yeah.
this episode, we took a few steps back and we said, let's really think about this.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's because we have such complicated feelings about
Yeah.
already.
No, I'm not saying it's a
know.
problem. I just think that's why it felt so like weird for us, because we have gotten way better at being like, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At letting
But
each
that's
other
just like
make
if I had to say
decisions
something.
Yeah.
It
instead
was
of,
a
like,
cool
hashing it out.
episode.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, if we just looked at her and then like, instead of being like, what if we killed you? Like if we just looked at her and like killed her, could have been cool. Because that was one of my thoughts.
That's what I mean. It's like if it was an animated series, that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
For the pacing and for the suspense and for the you look over and it's already been done, or you look and you see that the decision's been made and then it happens. But it's like we're playing D&D.
Yeah.
Like there are 4 people at the table. It's just like
the point is that you talk
but like
it out
there's
a little
also
bit
like
more.
a cool part of hearing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My A+, I'll say, is I started struggling with like figuring out what exactly this looked like. I knew the 3 things were that like that I wanted y'all to find out is like seeing her dad betray her aunt, Bean seeing his dad double cross or like be kind of a double agent and work with the Golden Order, and like that's how they got Hyperia, and that Hyperia is alive ? And then like a little bit of like the Cinderfoot backstory and like connection with Githyanki. And I was like, how the fuck do I do this? And how do I make it interesting? And so that's why I did like a little bit of like the shade encounter. Like you ought to like roll to see. And I was like, so that was kind of a half-ass thing. So that's kind of an F is figuring that out. But I think it went really well. And I think an A+ to y'all for like discussing in between each memory. I was really happy that y'all did that and that y'all were able to piece some stuff together. I loved that from y'all, A+. And then a flunk also Orb. But also
Orb was awesome.
Orb, A+ / flunk for Orb. And then flunk, I think there was another thing that I forgot about.
Tell us right now.
I don't remember. But side note, I was like, originally the Cinderfoots were going to be like your mom and dad. But I was like, that doesn't work timeline wise, really.
I loved it the way it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's even cooler. And it's like, it makes me wonder, do my mom and dad, like, did they know, like, Margie's parent? You know what I mean? It's like, of course, like, all the parents in the shrubberbs, like, know each other. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, did they know? Like, were they, like, watching us grow up together and, like, wondering what was going to happen? Like, it's just cool to think about.
Yeah.
And I know my A+ was all the imagery, but like specifically the parallels and how well things mirrored each other and like the generational like history repeating itself. So good.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was the other thing you forgot?
Something I was going to flunk.
Oh, I thought it was like something, I thought your flunk was that you forgot it and then you were going to tell us right now.
No, I think there were some things that I wanted to do in this episode, but I just didn't.
I feel like it was plenty thick of a soap.
There was a lot happening.
There was stuff that like wouldn't make sense. A lot of the stuff that I didn't do was because of timeline.
Yeah.
A+, I guessed the orb correctly that it was Luna's hair.
Yeah.
I also guessed
You
that
guessed
it was
it fast.
Hyperia.
I meant to give you an A+ for that and I forgot.
I guessed that the big thing was Hyperia. I did that.
The big thing.
Yeah.
The big, before we knew it was Hyperia, she was just
Yeah, you had to like guess
figure
who they were first.
Okay, yeah.
So I guessed Hyperia, and I used a luck point in the memory,
I'm
and that
glad
was
you
fun.
did.
I've never used one before, and it worked out well.
Went well.
And also A+, I found a dice within my collection that really like treated me well this session.
Oh
my
dragon
God.
dice?
No, it's this one.
It was
Oh, nice. It's always those ones that like look like they like cost $1 that
Yeah.
roll the best for me. The
Yeah.
ones that like are a lot of money. I was about to say I spend a lot of money on. Most of them are gifts, but I've never bought a set of dice for myself, but they usually don't roll as well.
It was really cute during the session. At one point, you were like, "I'm rolling so well." Like
Yeah.
you said it so quietly,
It
like
was
to
cute.
yourself.
It was treating me so nicely, and I don't know, all these
all these other bitches
don't treat me the way that she has treated me this session. So I gotta bookmark her for sure.
Did you know it was Timonus?
Yeah, I
Jared
think
was like another figure, and I was like,
I
know who that is.
just because of all the brother sister like parallels already in the story, I like figured it was.
See, in me, I was like, "Who?"
I was, but then I was kind of, I always second guess myself about everything. So I was like, well, no, maybe it is like someone
I mean, it could have been
really
someone else.
unexpected. So I was still like excited that it was him because we have never like, quote, seen him before.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we meet him in real life,
I didn't want to introduce too many new characters because someone in the Discord said,
oh yeah.
"Well, I don't."
Don't let him get to you.
I mean, here's the thing though:
Hey,
feedback.
they're a little valid.
They are valid, and feedback is good. Like each piece of criticism at some point can be true to some people, and it's just like determining of like whether that criticism or feedback is warranted.
Okay, that's a really
And
good
so,
attitude.
but somebody in the Discord was like, I don't know who it was, or like I think they were talking about the person in Fallheim that y'all didn't see, and they were like, no, they were like, no way it's a new NPC because he introduces a new NPC like every episode, and that would be insane.
They got
To
your
be
ass.
fair, I gave you like a family of 16 siblings.
And I gave you a family of 8.
like, and you have a couple, but like there's
Yeah, I have 3 siblings.
we
which is a
didn't make
reasonable
it
amount.
easy. So it's like
Yeah, we've given you just like
and we go to a school
And my parents are
full
chill.
of people.
When we meet y'all's dad,
like,
it's gonna be like on site. It's gonna be like number 1 ops. When we meet my dad, it's gonna be like, "What's up?"
yeah.
the Beetle salesman.
He's gonna be like, "Who wants a hot dog?"
But I do understand it from the
Fire
perspective
up
of
the
like
grill.
Yeah.
I think out of like everybody at this table, I think I struggle the most to keep all of the characters straight in my head. So like sometimes I have to be like, that one's a really like Esta focused character. I'm gonna have to slot that away, and when it becomes relevant, Campbell is gonna have to be the expert on that one.
Yeah.
Just like I'm like,
And-
my job is to be the expert on any beans heavy related NPCs. That's where like I have to come in clutch. So
And I'm not planning, and that's why like this episode I was like, like a lot of new NPCs, like, but I was justified because the unnamed man, like y'all have heard him before, like he's not new.
and Booker
If
isn't
anything, y'all
new.
learn a little bit new. Like Lord Booger wasn't, but like Cinderfoot's family a little bit, but then like Githyanki, like those are unimportant. Like we're not going to
It's
see
like-
them again.
Yeah, it's like I didn't feel like any of these were new NPCs because it's like all the ones that we know the ones who are already in real life that we've had some sort of interaction or like notion of, and the rest
Yeah.
of them are like they were just there to tell the story. Like it doesn't mean you can't have new characters in your story. I think what they mean is like a new NPC that we have to interact with and has now been deemed like you're important. We're gonna have to talk to you again.
That's true.
I personally love it.
I
love to have a library. I can close my eyes and see 100 guys in my head,
yeah.
and they're all Eldrivale
We should
inhabitants.
pretty much be like, shouldn't have very many important people. The people that we have should be either like we haven't met them, but we know them, like we know their names, and like we may have like.
We're not gonna meet like another super key player who's like we've never heard of.
Yeah, and
It's
like, the big one actually in this episode was Kaiba.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
that was kind of like like new, like kind of important to like Beans's.
but he's
stuff.
dead, so
But also like Beans doesn't have a lot of like important people that's like really attached to like his side of the story.
yeah.
So I felt justified in doing that.
No, you can add new NPC. I think it's just putting that.
That's why I killed him.
I think it's just putting it through the.
Look what you did.
I think it's putting it through the
I was
filter of
reading the
like,
people in the Discord.
you know, it takes some feedback to be like, oh, maybe that's kind of valid. And then now you have the filter of like, do I really need them? And
Yeah.
then it's like easy to be like, yes or no. You know, it's just like an extra layer of like, oh, I'm really going to think about it because.
For sure. That's definitely what I have now.
Maybe I wasn't thinking about it as hard before.
Or it's like think more creatively of how to give information.
Yeah.
And I do love reading feedback, people's feedback in the Discord.
I want to say something real quick. This is a Patreon thing. In our Patreon, we were talking about how people don't touch mics. Lily has been touching that mic.
I know, but it's only today.
No,
No.
it was not. It was during the Patreon episode as well.
No, Lily, you do this. You do this a lot.
I get scared.
Yeah.
I know.
You grab it. I know it looks like I do touch mine a lot, but I have figured out the way of like I can move mine silently or like if I'm gonna move it big, but I only move it back and forth when we record.
But even that, like, that is like fully on your microphone. Like,
yeah,
like
but
you
everybody
grabbing
shut
that-
up. What are you hearing?
no, right there, but you grabbing it earlier.
I don't do this
Like
when we
that.
record.
Yeah.
I do this before we record. I do this before to
Get all your
out.
touching out of the way.
And
I-
sometimes I put my face on it, but I'm very like
Yeah. Anyway, just thought that was funny.
I don't breathe if I put my face on it.
Whatever.
Whatever. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to this episode of
Like I said, surrounded by ops. Like I said, ops on all sides.
Oh my god.
Tune in next week to hear the finale of this arc.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Bold claim.
Whoa!
We're moving
I think
too
we got-
fast.
Too fast. Episode
Now I'm
47.
like, I don't want to get closer to the end. Now I'm scared.
What? The frozen toe ball!
No,
I could
I'm
not
scared.
be more excited.
But-
I mean, come on.
You have to get to the end of this beautiful whole story to get to the next beautiful story.
It's a masquerade ball, and guess what it's going to get interrupted by? An assassination attempt!
You don't know that.
I'm guessing, but that's my favorite trope ever.
Well, if it's your favorite trope,
Then you can't do it.
then we have to do it.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
just
because every time
We'll see.
Just every time we finish an episode or close an arc, we're closer to the end of this campaign, and it makes me sad.
That's true.
But hey, there will be more to come. You can have
We'll
more
see.
characters that you. Oh my
If y'all
god!
if y'all can afford me,
Yeah. Hey, for free 99, I think we can.
exactly. All right.
We pay him in dog treats in his crate.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
I feel like we haven't talked about your crate recently.
we have.
We'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye. See ya.